tying thread seems to be continuous underneath this guinea fowl hackle, suggesting that it was tied all in one, although clearly you can see by this there's some sort of adhesive in that. You can see this tying thread is different than this underneath. So the question is, was that just wrapping on our gut eye or what? But this is now coming away slightly easier than before. Now there's a hackle that has been wrapped in the opposite direction. So there was two guinea fowl hackles on there, one wrapped left-handed, one wrapped right-handed. And here's some sort of a half hitch kind of a thing, suggesting that they were putting a whip on it, holding in place while they went and got that hackle, I suppose, prepared. There's another half hitch. That pulled out from underneath it. That hackle is under that rib there. It appears to be under one rib the whole way, but that rib is tied in by this tying thread, so it appears that the hackle was tied in after the rib that went across it. So they must, we'll see whenever we get a little bit further on. But there was two turns of hackle there, tied in front of all the ribs, but yet the rib is over the top of that hackle. So let's see what comes off next. Right, there's another knot. Right, so that's now untying that tinsel, which is the one that was binding down the hackle, and that has been tied on the very top of the shank of the hook. So the hackle now is winding off. This hackle was wrapped on, tied in at the base first, and it was tied in on top and slightly to the far side, and it has been two-sided. It hasn't been stripped. There's another knot. So clearly this guy has been half hitching everything as they were tied on. So that has just released this other ovally tinsel. Bringing that back, that was tied in on my side, right on the side. There's another half hitch. In fact, that has tied in the flat tinsel, which was tied in on your side, right on the side, so there doesn't appear to have been anything tied in totally underneath. And let's see what this tie-in thread is doing. And that's odd. That I thought that might have been, I thought the tie-in thread might have been actually inside the black wool, but it's not. And this actually is wool, because it's now coming apart into strands, although they are falling apart. But it seems that the tie-in thread here, I can see it going in very wide open spirals back. You can maybe see a turn of it there, there's a turn of it there, there's a turn of it there, every sort of 5 or 6 mil. So what he's done is tied in his materials and then just whacked that forward in about 3 or 4 turns to get it to the front here, half hitched it, waiting on the rest of the stuff to come. And this is actually strands of wool. If we get them off, you might be able to see the tie-in thread. There's actually nothing tying that on. That has probably been wrapped over itself as if you were starting to wrap your tie-in silk onto a hook. I suppose that reduces, yeah, and look, this thick tie-in thread that we've been used here is actually underneath this red wool. So I would imagine this has just been It also seems to be a little bit here. There's probably the wax that was adhering that to that. Again, not tied in, just wrapped on over itself to start it, and then off you go. No actual tying on that, and again that would reduce your bulk. Go back here, taking off this tie-in thread, and we find hackle comes away first, so the hackle was the last thing that was tied in. Right, there's another knot of some description, I think, there, or else glue. No, it's a knot. So that's a half hitch. One of our sort of ovals gone, there's the other oval gone, and then the flat, and again some sort of a half hitch, and there's only maybe 1 or 2 turns of tie-in thread left there. There's a half hitch at the back of our gut, so he has put his gut eye on and then wrapped over backwards and half hitched at the back. See, that's our half hitch, our tie-in thing there. This is very thick thread here too. Seems to be caked in something, probably like a black wax. Very, very thick there. It's almost like cord. Still quite strong. Let's see how this worked. Just fell off. Okay. I'll use that again. But basically, what we learned from that is that there was a lot of half-hitching going on. I suppose they were tying in hand. It's probably a way of tying it off as you were going along.